Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 5 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in their email address and password provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 5 math. Click. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with chapter multiplication. The lessons we're going to cover today are multiply 3 or more numbers up to 2 digits each, multiplication, input output tables, find the rule, properties of multiplication, and multiply by 2-digit numbers, complete the missing steps. So here I'm on grade 5 math. The chapter we are on right now is multiplication. Let's just start with the lesson, that is multiply 3 or more numbers up to 2 digits each. Okay, let's just start with the first example. 12 times 9 times 8. So whenever we are going to multiply more than two numbers, we have to pair them, right? Like multiply them in the form of pair. 12 times 9 it is, right? 12 times 9 is 108. Now you have the product of 12 times 9 and the third number. You need to multiply them both. 108 times 8 is 864. Got it? So if there are three numbers, four numbers, or five numbers, you just have to make the pairs and multiply them in the form of pairs. The product of first two numbers, then multiply by the third number, then the product of first three numbers multiply by the fourth number, like this, right? Let's just start with the test questions. 9. So let's just make a pair of number, multiply, and then multiply the third number with the product of first two numbers. So I'm going to start with 11 times 1. 11 times 1 is 11. Now you have to multiply the product of first two numbers with the third number. So 11 times 9 is 99. The correct option is 99, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? The correct option is option number 2. 6 times 2 times 7. So which is the correct option? Yes, 6 times 2 is 12 and 12 times 7 is 84. Option number 2 is the Correct option. 84 is the correct option. Two times 8 times 2, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Let's start with the first two numbers, right? 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. Start with 8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16, and then you have to multiply with the third number. So 16 times 2 is 32. So the correct option is 30. Correct option. Very good. The correct option is option number 1, that is 32. The next one is 12 times 9 times 8. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 12 times 9 is 81. And 81 times 12 times 9 is 81. Sorry, 12 times 9 is 108. 108 times 8 is 8 times 8 is 64. Yes, that is 860. Number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Twelve times 7, which is the correct option? The correct option is 12 times 12 is 144, right? Let's just do 144 times 7 is the correct option. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? The correct option is option number 2, that is 1008. The next one is 9 times 7 times 11. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 9 times 7 is 63, and 63 times 11 is the correct option is 693. Option number 2 is the correct option. times 4 is 10, which is the correct option. Multiply 4 times 10. The correct option is 4 times 4 is 16 and 16 times 10 is 160. Option number 1 is the correct option. Very good. Multiply 5 times 6, which is the correct option. One hundred 60. How? 180 it is. 5 times 6 is 30 and 30 times 6 is 180. Very good. Option number 1 is the correct option. One times 12 times 10, which is the correct option. The correct option is 120. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Find the rule. Let's just start with the lesson. What is the rule for input output? You have to find the rule. You are given the table. You have to find the rule. What is the rule? Rule is the number that you multiply with input value and you will get the output value. So you have to find one time what number is 2. The input is 2 times what number is 4 because the corresponding value is 4. And 2 times what number is. So yes, every value multiply with by 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 times 3 times 2 is 6. So the correct option is 2. The multiplication rule is the multiply. The rule for this table is 2. Let's just start with the test questions. For this input output table. So 1 times what number is 3, 2 times what number is 6, 1 times what number is 3, 2 times what number is 6, and 3 times what number is 9. Yes, you have to multiply each input value by 3 to get the output value. The correct option is option number 2, that is 3, 6, and 9. Option number 2 is the option number 1 is the correct option. You have to multiply the each input value by 3. What is the rule for this input output table? Which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 3 is the correct option. You have to multiply each input value by 3 to get the output value. The correct option is option number 3. You have to multiply them by 3. Is the rule for this input output table? Which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, you have to multiply each input value by 2 to get the output value. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the input output table? What is the rule for the input output table? Which is the correct option? The correct option is you have to multiply them by 3. Option number 3 is the correct option. Rule for this input output table, which is the correct option? The correct option is option number. Yes, you have to multiply each input value by 2 to get the output value. What is the rule for this input output table? Which is the correct option? Yes, you have to multiply the each value by input value by 3 to get the output value. What is the rule for the input output table? Which is the correct option? Yes, you have to multiply the each input value by 2 to get the output value. Option number 3 is the correct option. The rule for this input output table, which is the correct option? Which is the correct option? Hello? Yes, you have to multiply them by 3. 0 times 3 is 0, 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. Option number 4 is the correct option. What is the rule for this input-output table? Which is the correct option? I don't know because I haven't made that website. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6. That's not my fault. For this input-output table, so which is the correct option? Yes, you have to multiply them by 3. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is lesson. Which equation shows the identity property of multiplication? Identity means that you have to, whenever you multiply any number by 1, the number stays the same, right? So that means multiplying by 1 does not change the number. So the identity property is 1. When you multiply any number by 1, you have the answer 1. So the identity property of multiplication is 1. Okay, the next other one is which property is shown? 9 times 5 minus 0 times 5 equals 9 minus 0 times 5. That is the distributive property of multiplication over addition, right? This one over subtraction, because here you are subtracting. So this is the multiplication property, multiplication distributive property over multiplication. Let's just start with the test questions. Which property of multiplication is shown 1 times 9 times 5 and 1 times 9 times 5. On the both side, the numbers are exactly same, just the order of multiplication is different, right? On this side, you have to do 1 times 9 first, and here you have to do 9 times 5 first, right? So that is known as the associative property. Whenever the three of the numbers and bracket is involved, that is known as the associative property. Got it? So that is the associative property. Got it? On the both sides, the numbers are same, just the order of multiplication is different. So that is the associative property. Option number 2 is the correct option. Which equation shows the distributive property of multiplication? So which is the distributive property of multiplication? 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is the correct option? The correct option is 0 times 5 is 0 is the zero property. 9 times 5 equals 5 times 9 is the commutative property. And the last one is also commutative property. The distributive property is option number 1, that is 7 times 3 plus 9 equals 7 times 3 plus 7 times 9 is the that is the distributive property of multiplication. Got it? Option number 1 is the correct option. Which property of multiplication is shown? 6 times 1 equals 6, which is the correct option. 0 times 5 equals 0 is the zero property. 6 times 1 is 6, right? So when you multiply by 1, you have the same number. That is the identity property. The correct option is identity. The correct option is 0 equals 0 times 4. Yes, that is zero property. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which equation shows the identity property of multiplication? So which is the correct option? The correct option is yes, option number 1 is the correct option. 3 times 1 is 3. Option number 1 is the correct option. Which property of multiplication is shown? Which property 9 times 5 minus 0 times 5 and 9 minus 0 times 5? Which is the correct option? The correct option is distributive property. It is option number 1 is the correct option. That's not associative. When you have two of the multiplications, 0 times 5 and 9 times 5, and between you have a plus or minus sign, that means that is the yes distributive property. It is the correct option is distributive. Which property of multiplication is shown? 8 times 6 equals 6 times 8. Which is the correct option? Commutative property. It is the correct option is commutative property. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is multiply by two-digit numbers, complete the missing step. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. You simply have to multiply and you have to see which step is missing. Yes, you simply have to add them. So option number yes, 2 is the correct option. That is 3128. Fill in the missing number. So the missing number is you have to multiply the tens digit. When you multiply the tens digit, the one the you on the one right below the ones digit you have to put 0. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 5 is 5. So the missing one is option number 1, that is 530. The correct option is option number 1. Fill in the missing number. So which number is missing? The correct option is yes, the correct option is 820. Option number 2 is the correct option. Fill in the missing number. So which number is missing? The correct option is option number yes, 1 is the correct option, that is 5760. Fill in the missing number. So which number is missing? The correct option is yes, 0 is the missing number. Fill in the missing number. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 451. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? Fill in the missing number. So which number is missing? The correct option is That is 4,560. Option number 2 is the correct option. Fill in the missing number. So which is the correct option? The correct option is 800. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, 66 is the missing number. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 5 math. The chapter we were working on is multiplication. The lessons we have covered today are multiply 3 or more numbers up to 2 digits each. Multiplication input output tables, find the rule. Properties of multiplication, multiply by 2-digit numbers, complete the missing steps. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we did today. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can contact any tutor on the Skype. They are available from Monday to Friday 5 to 9. Or either you can join me in the interactive session that would be daily from 4 to 5 and from 9 to 10. So that's all for today. If you have any questions related to the lessons we have just finished, you can please ask questions. I'm here to all your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions? Questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye everyone.